3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Wellness Week Live. Magnus and Callie. I'm in Jersey. Hey, we're two friends. We're not giving any medical advice. Always check out healthcare professionals. Okay, so Magnus, as I was telling you before, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he asked me, he's like, hey, Anthony, who taught you how to ride a bicycle when I was a child? I'm like, oh, I taught myself. And it felt so bad for me. Like, what? You don't have parents? I said, I don't have parents, but my father, although he's a good person, he wasn't patient. He's not he's not one of those dads, like he wasn't really that involved in my life. He paid the bills and, he came home for dinner. But other than that, he was loyal to my mother. But yeah, he wasn't anyway. So I just felt like it'd be easier if I just teach myself how to ride my bike. And I had no training wheel. So I would just get up, fall, get up, fall, get up, fall, get up, fall, and, get all banged up. In about a day or so, I had it down. Anyways, then I started thinking, so what else does our parents or family teach us or not teach us? So let's start off with this. Who taught you how to ride a bike, Magnus?
Mostly my mom, I would say. My dad was working, is like a restaurant owner. It's usually you're working evenings, nights, things like that. So it was mostly my mom. And yes, I did have training wheels. I had, so I was lucky. And we were also living in a neighborhood that was really, really good for bike riding. Not too much traffic and a lot of like cool ways. So once you kind of learn how to bike, the kids are all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And it probably got even worse when the older you get too, when you got into like 9, 10, 11, so on. When you're out, we were out like with moving around with our bicycles everywhere.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, okay. Now swimming, who taught you how to swim?
School. So in Sweden, we have a program that basically all kids, like if you go to school, you have to be able to swim.
Yeah. Well, for me, back to nobody taught me. I had to teach myself. Again, like my mother and father, they're good people. They're good. They're good parents, but they were not hands-on. So, and my father particularly did not have any kind of patience for children. So, he definitely, I wanted to stay clear away from him because I didn't want to put up with the hassle of him getting impatient and whatever. So I just taught myself how to swim. I would mimic people at the local city pool. Town pool. I would say, oh, okay, it looks like they're going like this. Let me try. So I would stay next to the wall of the pool and pretend.
Doggy paddle.
Yeah, so I felt confident enough. And by the way, about maybe I'm 50 right now. About 8 years ago, I had to teach myself how to swim correctly because I never knew how to blow the bubbles out into the water and come up for air because I was training for a triathlon.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I can't do the doggy paddle. I'm going to gas out. So anyways, back to I trained myself. Okay, so how about I will say my father taught me how to fish. So do you know how to fish?
Gut fish and everything?
Actually catch fish and then
were you able to gut it and fix it? That was my grandpa.
Okay.
My mom's dad.
Oh.
He taught me a lot of things, how to how to use tools. My mom learned me that as well, but he was very like hands-on and he was great. He built his own houses and stuff like that. So
awesome. Wow.
Yeah, so he like a little bit like a Renaissance man, a modern Renaissance man. So he taught me a lot of those things.
Okay.
It's definitely on my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
What about you? That you said that it was your dad, right?
Well, the fishing, yes, but my father did not know how to use tools. He doesn't really know even to this day. He's old now, but I had to teach myself how to use tools, everything from drills to hacksaws to chainsaws to hammers, screw whatever. Just because I was interested. Okay, so now, did anybody teach you how to cook at all? Or
definitely my dad. So that's from my dad's side. Yep, he says restaurant owner, very like in a kitchen. So I started to cook. He started to like, well, son, you need to start learning how to make your own food. So I was I think like around 10 when we started, and it was all the boring stuff, peeled potatoes and then. But then I mean, I know how to when it comes to like preparing meat and things like that.
Yeah.
So if I get a slab of meat, I can kind of like start fixing it, like removing fat
Cutting
and
it
all
up,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, my mother taught me how to cook. My grandmother taught me how to cook. I would just watch them. I would always help them to do whatever in the kitchen. So they taught me that. My mother, because she's a holy roller, she taught me how to pray the Catholic prayers, the Our Father, the Hail Mary, things like that. Although Catholics, I can tell you this. I mean, I'm sure there are Catholics that know the Bible, but most Catholics don't. So we don't. My mother never taught us anything about the Bible, not because she didn't want to, but the Catholic tradition is the priests handle the Bible. You don't touch it. We'll just say the rosary. Okay. Were you religious growing up? Did you?
Since we're Protestants in Sweden, it's back then it was connected to school. So we usually went to church through school, and that was also part like of religion.
Okay.
Like social science, but with
Right.
like religion,
Okay.
world religion, and Catholic and Protestant and all that.
Yeah.
So so we got exposed to that
a
lot. Like the Bible, like passages explaining how the Bible works. So it was way more hands on that we actually were sitting and looking into the Bible and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I think it. I can tell you it's probably changed like 50 times since I went to school, but yeah.
Sure. All right, cool. Yeah. So my father, when I was a child, like when I was maybe 7 years old, he taught me how to fight, so to speak, like how to throw a punch. Not that he was some karate expert, but that was, again, I appreciate that, I guess everything I'm saying about like, did our parents teach us this or that? Who taught you? Was it an aunt, an uncle, grandparent? It's not even so much the lesson. It's that they spent time with you. They showed interest.
Yes.
That it's a means to an end. But so did your parents or anyone teach you like how to do a karate kick or a punch or no?
No, not really. That was more from friends. But I mean, I would be more my grandpa that kind of explain like the basics of it, and yeah. So and he used to do a little bit of amateur boxing like long time ago, but he was like, nah. So he was kind of more like, no, son, you should not be fighting. That's not good for you. So,
all right.
So
did anybody teach you how to shave or brush your teeth or
again, it's funny that you mentioned that. I remember this vividly when I was in like preschool or daycare.
Right.
In Swedish it's called dagis. So I remember that we had people from the dentist actually came in and showed us how to do it. And then also like we Swedish like healthcare system. So we're basically going to the dentist at least once a year. Basically from we're toddlers.
Good. Yeah. So, for me, it was my mother, father that would teach me how to like brush my teeth, or my hair, or how to set the shower correctly so you don't burn yourself, things like that. In that respect, my parents were hands-on, and so I don't want to paint a picture that my parents were like, "Oh, fuck you." No, they weren't. But a lot of it, they were hands off, especially when you anything outside. How about this one?
One more. Dad was shaving. That was that. Yeah. And then once I read American Psycho, then I understood. Oh, that's how you shave. So it's because he goes through one of his like routines, and he was like, it's crazy, but it's fun. It gave you some good tips, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, so we'll wrap up with this one because we're coming close to our end time here. So how about changing a tire? Now, I understand that most people today don't know how to change a tire, which is kind of sad. Nobody taught me how to change a tire. Nobody taught me how to change a tire. I taught myself. Basically that's that. And I've changed many tires since. Did anybody teach you how to change a tire?
So this is funny. I think that I mentioned it on a podcast before. So that was my mom. Since we change tires seasonally, so we have to do it at least twice a year. Okay. Right. We're doing when winter rolls around, then you put on your winter tires, and then when spring rolls around, you have to remove them, right, and put on the summer tires. We call them winter and summer tires, right? Yeah. So me and my mom used to do that. Like we got really good at it. So we were like a Formula One team, like you had like, we had a system down, like that was very efficient. So yeah,
Okay.
no, so no, I've changed it. So like 4 tires on
Okay.
the car and
Yeah, yeah,
8
yeah.
tires. So that's 8 tires a year,
Oh, you're an
basically.
expert compared to me then. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done it. I've done it several hundred times.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no, here in America, or particularly in a temperate climate like New Jersey, you only really change your tire if it's flat because,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
but all season. But yeah, obviously, where you guys are a little bit more cold and mountainous and whatever, snow all the time. But all right, so that's all I got to say, man. Is going to wrap up. Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, well, awesome. Like I hope this is important. If you're a parent and or grandparent, or if you're just friend, uncle, aunt, whatever, like spend times with kids and learn this like life skills. They need to, and it's important that they continue. So it's not like, oh, someone else takes care of it. No, we need to take care of certain things ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well said. I always say teach them about how to eat right, teach them how to balance their checkbook, and talk about the birds and the bees.
Yep.
Anyways,
Early.
that's okay. Very good, Magnus. Thank you very much. We're cutting it out here, everybody. Thank you.
See you guys.
Magnus. Thank you, buddy. See you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.